Joachim returns home while Frederik is in France. Is the reconciliation of the brothers cancelled? While Queen Margrethe's youngest son, Prince Joachim, has been living in the US for nearly a year, he has recently returned to Denmark to coincide with the Olympic celebrations in Paris. King Frederik and Queen Mary are currently in Paris to support Danish athletes. Prince Joachim, Princess Maria, and their youngest children, Henrik and Athena, were honored guests at the Royal PRS of Copenhagen, an annual event in the Danish capital where riders from around the world compete. Prince Joachim, Princess Maria, and their children got a behind-the-scenes look at the cars and learned all about the races. The royal house took advantage of Prince J.W. Quen's visit to share some pictures via the official social media profile, as the couple's presence on the official agenda is almost non-existent, especially since King Frederik became the new head of state. Both Prince Joachim and his wife and younger children were full of smiles throughout the day when they could be seen riding in some cars, interested in their work, and chatting animatedly with the drivers. This was the Prince and Princess first trip to Denmark in the last few months, as they began a new phase in Washington after spending several years in France. There is a private summer residence of the royal family, Kite's Castle, where, by the way, Prince Joachim's eldest son Nicholas visited in the company of his girlfriend and a group of friends. Recent times have not been easy for Prince Joachim of Denmark, who in less than 2 years witnessed how his mother stripped her sons of the title of prince in an effort to reduce the number of members of the royal family, as well as how his older brother, who is now head of state, took a step forward both count after Henrik and Countess Athena's grandmother, Queen Margrethe, decided to depose them at the end of 2022. They were referred to as the Counts and Countesses of Montpellier beginning in 2020 to 2023. The changes had a significant impact on Joachim's two older children, Nikolai, 24, and Felix, 21, as well as his two younger children, Henrik and Athena, who live with him in Washington. The decision to strip his mother of her son's titles was not an easy one for him, and Margaret of Denmark had to make a statement acknowledging that she may have underestimated the personal consequences of her decision. As a result, tensions within the royal family rose, particularly since only Joachim was present at Frederik's proclamation, absent his wife, who, as always, had a difficult relationship with the new Queen Mary. The couple had earlier this year discussed the Queen's decision, admitting that it had been a difficult time for the family. According to Mary, "It's more than simply a title. We're unhappy with the way it came to pass, but this is a family concern. It's tough, it's also their name, it's their identity from the moment of their birth," and so on. Following the announcement of Queen Marg's decision in September 2022, Joachim's second son Prince Joachim expressed his outrage at the move, saying that the family was saddened and found themselves in a situation they don't understand. He added that it's never fun to see your children being harmed, and that the family has since tried to put the dispute behind them, saying that they are moving on. A representative for Jo's ex-wife stated in the autumn that the rapper's two sons were shocked and devastated by the news, and that the kids felt isolated and confused about why their unique identities were being stripped away. The Telegraph reports that Joachim's current wife, Princess Marie of Denmark, informed the press that their youngest child, Athena, was bullied at school. Meanwhile, Nikolai, Joachim's eldest child, expressed confusion about the decision and how everything happened so fast, saying, "I don't understand why it had to happen this way." Slowly but surely, the tension between the two families has diminished. In 2012, Princess Marie and her children did not attend the royal family's traditional Christmas party at Marseille's Borge Palace, but Prince Joachim and Prince Frederik and their children participated. Royalists and Danes are very divided over Prince Margrethe of Denmark's decision to depose her grandsons of their titles. This step highlights the difficulty of balancing the traditions and modern realities of the monarchy and raises questions about the influence and role of the monarch in modern society. On the one hand, Marg's decision can be seen as an attempt to adapt the monarchy to modern standards and limit the number of members of the royal family, which can be an important step in a modern republic. However, the lack of consultation with other family members and the lack of diplomacy in such a decision can be considered disadvantages. On the other hand, the family's reaction to this decision shows that such a step not only caused disagreements and disappointment but also affected the relationship within the family. The Queen's apology indicates her awareness of the consequences, but it does not reduce the negative emotions caused by this decision in her grandchildren and their parents in the context of modern monarchies, where the symbolic role of the royal family is combined with their public responsibility and reputation. It is important to consider what messages such decisions send to society. In this case, the Queen decision raised questions about justice and family values, which remains relevant for discussion in the context of the future of the Danish monarchy. Thus, the issue of stripping titles to Danish princes and princesses raises important aspects of the modern monarchy, including its adaptation to changing social expectations and the preservation of family peace in the midst of difficult family issues, or the royal family's participation at King Frederik's coronation, which some interpreted as a sign of discord, led to a schism. He openly apologized for underestimating the anguish inflicted on Queen Margrethe of Denmark by her choice to divest her grandchildren of their royal titles, which has caused much controversy in the Danish royal court and society, and the family spent Christmas 2022 apart, breaking a long tradition. This step brings attention to the challenge of juggling the monarchy's traditions with modern realities and raises questions about the monarch's influence and role in today's society. On the one hand, Margrethe's decision could be viewed as an effort to modernize the monarchy and reduce the number of royal family members, which could be a positive step in a modern republic. On the other hand, the family's reaction to the decision shows that it not only caused disappointment and disagreements but also impacting family relationships. In light of the symbolic role and public responsibility of the royal family in modern monarchies, it is important to consider the messages sent to society by decisions like the Queen's. In this case, the decision to remove titles from Danish princes and princesses raised questions about justice and family values, which are relevant to discuss in light of the future of the Danish monarchy. The issue of removing titles highlights important aspects of modern monarchy, such as how it adapts to changing social expectations and the preservation of family traditions. Athena emphasized that she has taken measures to make sure the monarchy adapts to the times. There is a lot of tension in the Danish royal court and society over Queen Margrethe of Denmark's decision to remove her grandchildren's royal titles.